Motor Speedway. A little bit of an overcast day. We were expecting the speeds to be up because it's a little bit cooler and the sun not beating down on the racetrack. Send back into the garage and Marty Snyder.
Well, we've talked about Joey Logano and his race team kind of spending the first hour in race trim practice, Rick, now trying to get into qualifying trim. And here we are, a little over 10 minutes left in this session. Joey Logano's still not in the car for that one qualifying run they're going to make. And just talked to Todd Gordon a second ago. I said, are you worried about that? He said, no, you only need one qualifying run. That's all I really need. And our plan was to stay in race trim for that first hour of practice. So that's the gamble here for the 22 team. You see Logano climbing in now, and you see 10:25 left in practice to make a qualifying run. Looks like they'll maybe only get one qualifying run, but according to Todd Gordon, that's enough. I did ask him, Rick, I said, is it confidence in race trim that you have or confidence in qualifying trim that you have that allows you to do this? He said, yes. So obviously they're confident on both ends of it today.
Affirmative answer. And the 42 of Kyle Larson back out on the track. He's already dropped down to 5th after spending most of this practice at the top of the speed chart. Now, Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, Chase Elliott, and Kurt Busch have all run faster laps than Kyle Larson. That lap for Kyle Larson, 27:69. I'll actually have to go out to the last number on the chart, 27.693, because his fastest lap is 27.691. So he was 2/1000ths of a second slower on that lap than what his fastest lap is. Dave.
Rick, I think my count is right now. Jimmie Johnson has made 3 qualifying runs in the 48 car. They've not been exceptional. The last one was on a set of used tires. It was not a new set of tires, so there might be some slowdown there. But his first run was the most concerning because he called it super tight. The car just wouldn't turn for him. So they're not on the correct side of the board yet, I would call it. The monitor that I look at, he's over on the right side, which is way down. They have a little bit of work to do yet before qualifying this evening.
Yeah, that right side starts with 29th position, and that's why a lot of guys are worried if they're on the right side, they're on the wrong side of that chart.
That's the rule in the garage. Never be on the right side.
Well, and you don't see a lot of panic while there is disappointment. There's not a lot of panic because that win last week, that win guarantees Jimmie Johnson the opportunity to go to Miami and try to tie the 2 gentlemen that are on the back of his helmet. One of the coolest paint schemes I think I've seen. But you see right there the iconic face, the sunglasses, the cowboy hat of King Richard Petty. You can't see it as well, but on the left side of that 7 is an image of Dale Earnhardt Sr. And I think that's Jimmie Johnson. That's not Jimmie Johnson bragging. I think that's Jimmie Johnson letting the world know how appreciative he is of those 2 NASCAR stars, sports icons, what they've built in NASCAR, what they accomplished in NASCAR, and the fact that his name is in that conversation. I think he is just showing his respect without a doubt.
Just to be mentioned in the same breath as those 2 Hall of Famers, 7-time champions in the sport, and 2 of the biggest icons.
And think about that. Jimmie Johnson's won 6. He won 5 or of those 6 in a row.
Yes.
5 back to back to back to back. I mean, think of the sports teams, the dynasties in any sport. Find how many to win 5 championships in a row in whatever sport you are.
There's the numbers. And interesting, the story of how Jimmie Johnson even got started in the Cup Series with Hendrick Motorsports came from Jeff Gordon. I mean, Jimmie Johnson was racing Jeff Gordon in an Xfinity Series race. Getting lapped by Jeff Gordon. And Jeff Gordon said, you know what? We really need to take a look at this young kid. He's got a lot of talent.
I'll never forget, I was working at Hendrick Motorsports, and we were in the shop working on the 24 cars, getting ready to go to the racetrack, and here came Rick and Jeff and this kid, Jimmie Johnson. We all looked around, and we're like, he's not that good. What did I miss? He had yet to win an Xfinity race. And after the deal got put together, Rex Stump and a few engineers went and helped him at Old Herzog, the team that Jimmie drove for. They won a fuel mileage race in Chicago. That was his only Xfinity win. And then he jumps into a Cup car, and appears to be that Jeff Gordon's a pretty good judge of talent, because arguably, Jeff Gordon would have more than 4 championships if he wouldn't have hired Jimmie Johnson.
I think an interesting thing too, if you think about, Matt Kenseth, Mark Martin talked about how good he was before he ever got here. Joey Logano was identified by Mark Martin as well. So Jeff Gordon, these guys, when they race against or they watch, they can tell who has the skill and who has the ability.
Pretty high praise when Jeff Gordon says this guy's got talent, and it's been on display the last 4 fall races for Jimmy Johnson. Victory lane each time.